Fire alarm for your soul. You weren't meant to live a life of confusion and quiet desperation. You weren't designed to drift, to feel empty, to wonder why you're even here. Deep down, you know you're not living at full power. That ache in your chest, that's your potential screaming to be heard. Every word you're about to hear is for you, and if you're hearing it now, it's because you were chosen to wake up, rise up, and take back control. Somewhere along the path, men lost their edge. Society told them to be quieter, softer, more agreeable, to hide their strength like it was shameful. But the truth is this: your masculinity is not the enemy, it's the foundation. Confidence is not arrogance when it's built on discipline, purpose, and truth. They lied to you to keep you small, to keep you easy to control. Real men don't shrink to fit into the world. They rise to shape it. You don't need permission to stand tall, to speak with fire, to walk with power. And you damn sure don't need to apologize for being a man. They told you strength was dangerous because it made you harder to manipulate. They shamed your aggression, not knowing it's the same fire that protects families, builds legacies, and conquers evil. They labeled your directness as toxic, your ambition as greed, and your intensity as unstable, because they were afraid of what a fully awakened man could do. But masculinity in its pure form is not destruction, it's direction. It's the calm in chaos, the rock in the storm, the warrior in the fire. Without strong men, civilizations crumble. Without masculine presence, families fracture and order collapses. The world needs your fire, not your silence. They told you to be nice, but nice is just another word for weak when it means betraying your truth to please others. Kindness without strength is not virtue, it's vulnerability, waiting to be exploited. Real men aren't just nice, they're good. And there's a difference. Being good means you have teeth, but you choose when to use them. It means you don't tolerate disrespect, but you don't go looking for war. You walk in peace, because you're built for battle. That's power under control, and that's real masculinity. Masculinity isn't about dominating others, it's about mastering yourself. It's waking up early when you don't feel like it. It's pushing your limits in silence while others sleep. It's standing firm when everything around you is falling apart. It's being the man your future son will thank and your daughter will trust. It's leading by example, not by ego. It's discipline in your habits, responsibility in your actions, and purpose in your mission. And if the world fears that kind of man, good. Because that man cannot be controlled. You weren't born to bow, you were born to build. You weren't made to apologize for who you are, you were made to own it. But the longer you play small, the louder the lies get. The more you conform, the more your soul rots in silence. And deep down, you feel it. That quiet war inside between who you pretend to be and who you really are. You've been caged not by bars, but by expectations. But cages only exist if you accept them, and you weren't made for confinement. It's time to sharpen the edge again. It's time to train your body, discipline your mind, and reconnect with the primal force that's been buried beneath comfort and convenience. Because no one is coming to save you, and no one's going to hand you back your masculinity. You have to take it, rebuild it, own it, and walk through this world like a man who knows exactly who the hell he is. Not with arrogance, but with certainty. Because a man who knows himself is a man no one can break. History is written by warriors, not cowards. The builders of empires, the protectors of their families, the leaders of revolutions. They were men who stood firm in who they were. They didn't wait for approval. They acted with conviction. They weren't perfect, but they were relentless. They made mistakes, but they never stopped moving forward. That's the bloodline you come from, the legacy you carry in your bones. You're not the product of weakness, you're the descendant of strength, and it's time you started acting like it. These men weren't born into greatness, they forged it, in the fire of adversity, in the chaos of war, in the silence of lonely. Leadership. They became the men the world would never forget. They didn't have the luxury of comfort, of second chances, of sitting around waiting for motivation. They were forced to decide, fight or fall. And they chose to fight. They chose to stand for something greater than themselves. They built legacies, not by talking, but by bleeding, building and believing when no one else did. That's what greatness demands, sacrifice without applause. Look back at the Spartans of Thermopylae, outnumbered, outarmed, but never outwilled. 300 men stood against an empire, not because they thought they would survive, but because they knew their stand would echo through time. They didn't ask, "What if we lose?" They asked, "What if we don't stand?" That's what honor looks like. That's what masculine strength rooted in purpose creates. Fear didn't disappear. They faced it and moved anyway. And that same spirit lives in you. Consider the gladiators of Rome. Men thrown into an arena to die. Yet some of them became legends. They were prisoners, slaves, outcasts. But when the gates opened, they chose to fight like kings. Not because they were born noble, but because they refused to die weak. They understood something most men today have forgotten. Even when you're trapped, you still have a choice. A man's strength is not in his circumstances, it's in how he responds to them. That's why history remembers them, not for their titles, but for their will. Think of the samurai, warriors who lived by a code so fierce, so precise, they were willing to die before breaking it. Discipline, loyalty, mastery. They didn't wait for opportunity. They trained for it every single day. Rain or shine, peace or war, they kept sharpening their blade, physically and mentally. Their lives were short, but their legacies were eternal. Why? Because they chose to be uncommon even among warriors. And that choice is available to you right now. So when you look in the mirror, understand what you're really seeing. You're looking at the descendant of warriors, kings, rebels, and builders. Men who bled for freedom, men who died for honor, men who created the world you now live in. Don't disrespect their legacy by wasting yours. Don't walk through life like you're powerless. You are not weak. You are asleep. And it's time you wake up. You feel it, don't you? That fire that refuses to die out, even when life tries to drown it. That voice in your head that whispers when no one else is listening, telling you, you were made for more. It's not a fantasy. It's not a dream. It's the truth of who you really are, trying to break through the noise. You've just been distracted, pulled in every direction but the one that matters, within. That warrior inside of you. He's still there, and he's not done yet. But the world doesn't want you to hear that voice. It wants you numb, scrolling endlessly, chasing dopamine, drowning in comparison. Every app, every distraction, every fake smile on social media is a weapon aimed at your focus. It's designed to keep you passive, weak, and obedient. Because a man who knows his worth is dangerous to a system built on fear. A man with clarity is a threat to comfort, to mediocrity, to control. That's why your power has been under attack since day one. But that fire inside you, it's still burning even if it's buried under the rubble of your distractions. You remember what it felt like, don't you? That moment you stood up for yourself. That one time you followed through with discipline, even when it hurt. That small win where your own strength surprised you. Those weren't random. They were glimpses of the man you were always meant to be. He's not some unreachable version of you. He is you, without the noise, without the fear, without the lies. That voice inside, the one telling you you were made for more. It's the real you breaking through the surface. He's not dead, he's just been buried. And now it's time to dig him out. And yes, it'll be uncomfortable because rebirth always is. You're not just changing your habits, you're burning the version of yourself that settled for less. The man who said, "I'll do it tomorrow." The man who blamed the world instead of owning his reality. The man who let fear decide his future. That version of you must die so the warrior can live. And that transformation doesn't happen in silence. It happens in the fire. You've been told that chasing greatness is selfish, but it's not. It's necessary. Your family, your future wife, your brothers, your purpose, they're all waiting for you to step into the man you were designed to become. Not a man who just survives, but a man who leads, who builds, who protects. Your greatness isn't about flashy success. It's about becoming solid, unshakable, grounded. A man who's rooted in discipline, not desire. A man who creates order out of chaos. A man others look to when the storm hits. So when you feel that fire again, don't ignore it. Don't run from it. Lean into it. That fire is your soul's way of screaming, "Wake up." That voice isn't your imagination. It's your reminder. Your call to remember who you are. Stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Be the man who rescues himself and then leads others to do the same. Every day you hesitate, you lose ground. Every time you doubt yourself, you hand your power away. This world doesn't reward potential, it rewards action. You don't become strong by thinking about it. You become strong by bleeding for it, by earning it, by choosing it every single day. Reclaim your mind, reclaim your body, reclaim your power, because no one is going to do it for you. Every day you hesitate, you lose ground. Every time you doubt yourself, you hand your power away. This world doesn't reward potential, it rewards action. You don't become strong by thinking about it. You become strong by bleeding for it, by earning it, by choosing it every single day. Reclaim your mind, reclaim your body, reclaim your power, because no one is going to do it for you. You think you have time, but that's the greatest illusion. Time is a thief, and hesitation is its weapon. The more you wait, the more your spirit withers. Days become weeks, weeks become years, and suddenly you're looking in the mirror wondering where your fire went. Let me tell you something. There is nothing more painful than wasted potential. Nothing more haunting than the man you could have been staring back at you in silence. Discipline is not punishment, it's freedom. It's the key that unlocks everything you've ever wanted. You won't find greatness in comfort. You'll find it in the early mornings, the late nights, the reps no one sees, the sacrifices no one claps for. You'll find it when you push through pain, not around it. When you do the hard things, especially when you don't feel like it. That's how men are forged. That's how warriors are born. Your mind is a battlefield, and every excuse is an enemy soldier. Laziness, fear, doubt. They'll march in and take over if you don't fight back. You've got to arm yourself with purpose, armor yourself with discipline, and strike with relentless action. You can't negotiate with weakness. You can't reason with mediocrity. You either dominate your thoughts or they'll dominate you. And if you don't reclaim that throne inside your own head, someone else will sit on it, and they won't rule it for your benefit. So build yourself brick by brick, not for the applause, not for the validation, but because you owe it to the man you were meant to be. You owe it to your future self to become unbreakable, to become dangerous, not reckless, but disciplined. A man with focus, direction, and fire in his chest, every drop of sweat, every second of discipline. It's all proof that you refuse to die with your greatness still inside you. The world is on fire, and men are asleep. They're numbing themselves with distraction, comfort, and weakness. But comfort is a slow death, and weakness is a disease. You were not made to blend in. You were made to break through, to lead, to protect, to rise when others fall, to be the example that reminds other men who they truly are. The world is on fire, and men are asleep. They walk through life like ghosts, physically present but mentally and spiritually numb. They drown themselves in fake dopamine hits, mindless, scrolling, porn, junk food, endless entertainment, all to escape the truth. And the truth is this: they are running from themselves, running from the mirror, running from the pain they don't want to face and the power they're too scared to claim. Distraction has become their drug and comfort their coffin. But what they don't realize is that every day they choose comfort, a piece of them dies, slowly, silently, and without a fight. Comfort is seductive, but it's a liar. It tells you you're safe when you're really stagnant. It makes you feel good while it's draining your spirit. Growth never happens in comfort. Power is not found in pleasure. You earn strength through suffering, through the battle, through the grind. That gym you keep avoiding, that hard conversation you won't have, that discipline you refuse to develop, that's the very path that leads to your freedom. But you've got to choose discomfort over distraction. Every single day. Weakness isn't just a lack of strength, it's a mindset. It's the voice that says, "I'll do it later." It's the hesitation before you speak your truth. It's the fear that keeps you small, the doubt that keeps you passive. And if you feed it long enough, it will rot everything inside you. Your drive, your confidence, your identity. Weakness spreads like poison, infecting your habits, your decisions, your relationships. But the antidote has always been within you. Responsibility, action, and discipline. You were not made to blend in. You were made to break through. There's a reason you feel restless. There's a reason mediocrity makes you sick. You were not born to be another nameless man in a quiet crowd. You were born to lead, to influence, to carry the weight that others run from. You were made to feel deeply, to fight fiercely, and to protect relentlessly. The world doesn't need more passive men. It needs lions, men who walk with fire in their eyes and honor in their hearts. Men who choose purpose over pleasure, meaning over comfort. And here's the truth. Your rise isn't just about you. It's about your family watching you, your future kids depending on you, the men around you silently hoping you make the first move so they can follow. Every step you take toward greatness gives others permission to do the same. You become the lighthouse in the storm, the one who says, "I'll go first." You don't just save yourself. You awaken others, and that's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you a man worth remembering. So what now? Are you going to keep scrolling, keep pretending, keep hiding behind excuses, or are you going to decide right now that enough is enough, that you're done living below your potential, that you're finished waiting for some external sign to start becoming who you were meant to be? This is your moment. This is your call to arms. The world needs warriors again, real ones, and that starts with you. But let me make something clear. This path isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. There will be pain, sacrifice, and moments where you'll want to quit. That's the price of transformation. Weak men avoid discomfort. Strong men hunt it. You will bleed. You will fail. You will fall. But you will rise every damn time, because you've decided you're not going to die living like a ghost of who you were meant to be. You need to start training, not just your body, but your mind. Your discipline is your weapon. Your focus is your armor. And your purpose, that's your shield when the world tries to break you. Start building rituals that sharpen you. Start cutting out the things that drain you. And for the love of everything, stop waiting to feel ready. No warrior ever walked into battle ready. He walked in committed. You have to let go of your past. Let go of the mistakes, the regrets, the guilt that's been chaining you down. You're not defined by your failures. You're forged by them. Every setback has been a lesson. Every heartbreak has been a test. You didn't go through hell just to stay stuck in it. Use the pain, use the anger, use the silence of those who never believed in you, and let it fuel the fire of the man you're becoming. And understand this: greatness doesn't shout. It moves quietly, relentlessly. In the dark hours, while everyone else sleeps, while others chase validation, you'll be chasing mastery. While they scroll, you'll sweat. While they complain, you'll build. And one day, when you walk into a room, you won't need to say a word, because real power doesn't announce itself. It just is. So ask yourself, what kind of man do you want to be when your story is told? Will they say you ran? Will they say you settled? Or will they say you stood when everything tried to knock you down? You were not made to be mediocre. You were not made to live numb, distracted, or domesticated. You were made to fight for your mind, your mission, your legacy. This is your call, this is your war, and you were born for it. This is your message, this is your mission, this is your choice. No one can force you to rise, but no one can stop you once you do. You don't need more time. You need a decision, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, right here, right damn now.